You might not admit it, but if you're a Sigma male, you often feel forced to avoid relationships these days. You might be wondering why this is, especially when you know you have a lot to offer. It's completely natural to want a connection with someone who understands you. Yet many modern women seem to have different priorities. While it may seem like Sigma males are actively avoiding relationships, the truth is that today's women often leave them with no other option. Let's take a look at 7 reasons why Sigma males feel forced to avoid relationships. Number 1. Entitlement mentality. It's like a silent poison seeping into modern relationships. You've seen it, felt it, and maybe even been burned by it. It's that toxic mindset where she believes the world owes her everything just for existing. If you're a Sigma male, this mentality may be the biggest reason why you avoid relationships. You've worked hard for everything you have. You've built yourself up from nothing. Your time, your money, your emotional energy. They're all valuable resources. So when you meet a woman who expects the royal treatment without lifting a finger, it's like nails on a chalkboard. It starts small. A raised eyebrow when you don't offer to pay for every single date. A hint of annoyance when you can't immediately respond to a text. But for Sigma males, these are the first red flags of a much bigger issue: entitlement. Remember that time you planned a thoughtful, budget-friendly date, only to be met with disappointment because it wasn't impressive enough, or when you were made to feel guilty for needing a night to yourself to recharge after a tough work week. This entitlement seeps into every aspect of interaction. Your opinions are dismissed, your boundaries disrespected. It's as if your role is simply to fulfill a checklist of demands, with little regard for your own needs or desires. The truly sneaky part is often disguised as knowing her worth or having high standards. But there's a world of difference between self-respect and expecting the world on a silver platter. Since Sigma males value independence and mutual respect, this creates an impossible situation. The very traits that make you successful, self-reliance, ambition, thoughtfulness, are twisted into weapons against you. It's exhausting. It's demoralizing. And in the end, this is why so many Sigma males are deciding to walk away from the dating scene entirely. The cost of admission has simply become too high. Number 2. Endless mind games. Playing hard to get, mixed signals, ghosting. These are just a few of the dating games that have become commonplace in today's culture. And Sigma men want no part of it. As a Sigma, you're a straight shooter, valuing honesty and direct communication. So why does modern dating feel like you're constantly decoding a secret language? It starts with the texting tango. She takes hours to respond, but her Instagram story shows she's been active all day. Is she busy, uninterested, or just playing it cool? You're left analyzing every word and emoji like some digital age Sherlock Holmes. Then comes the jealousy test. She casually drops names of other guys watching for your reaction. Or worse, she flirts with someone right in front of you. It's a game of emotional chicken, and you never agreed to play. The hot and cold routine is another favorite. One day she's all in, planning future dates. The next, she's distant and aloof. You're expected to chase, to prove your worth. But the rules keep changing, and you're always one step behind. Even making plans becomes a strategic minefield. Suggest a date? She's conveniently busy but offers no alternative. You're supposed to keep trying, demonstrating your interest through persistence. It's exhausting. Ghosting is the ultimate power play. Things seem to be going well, then silence. No explanation, no closure. Just radio silence, leaving you to wonder what went wrong. For Sigma males, these games are more than just annoying. They're deal breakers. They want a partner, not an opponent. A relationship shouldn't feel like a never-ending test or a competition you can't win. While some guys may enjoy the chase, Sigma men will never waste their time on someone who plays games. They want a mature and honest connection, not a high school-style drama fest. If that's not on the table, they'll walk away without hesitation. Number 3. Unrealistic expectations. Hollywood romance, fairy tale endings, Prince Charming riding in on a white horse. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? Except when you're expected to live up to these fantasies in real life. Sigma men are facing a huge wave of crazy expectations in dating today. It's not just about grand gestures or lavish gifts anymore. They're now supposed to be a mind reader, a therapist, and a superhero all rolled into one. She wants the security of a committed relationship, but the excitement of a new conquest. You should be ambitious and successful, but always available at a moment's notice. Be sensitive and vulnerable, but never show weakness. It's a constantly shifting set of goalposts that's impossible to meet. These expectations don't come out of nowhere. They're fed by romantic comedies, social media highlight reels, and glossy magazine articles promising 10 signs he's the one. Reality can't compete with these polished fictions. So what's the problem? Real relationships are messy. They require compromise, patience, and a whole lot of hard work. But many women today seem to want the perfect outcome without the journey. They expect a finished product, not a partner to grow with. While Sigma males are open to commitment, they're not willing to play this impossible game. They're ready to put in the work, but not to twist themselves into an unrecognizable shape just to meet someone else's fantasy. The constant pressure to be everything to someone is exhausting. It leaves no room for individuality, for personal struggles, for the natural ebb and flow of a genuine relationship. That's why many Sigma men are choosing to step back when they meet these sky-high expectations. The gap between reality and fantasy has grown too wide to bridge. Instead of trying to become someone else's idealized version of a partner, they would rather stay single or wait for a better match. Number 4. Emotional baggage. Drama. It's like a magnet for some women. The more you try to avoid it, the stronger its pull becomes. It starts innocently enough. A few venting sessions about work or friends. You listen and offer support. That's what partners do, right? But soon it's a daily flood of complaints. Every minor setback becomes a crisis. Each disagreement with a coworker or family member turns into an hours-long dissection. If you're Sigma, this is a nightmare. Your logical and analytical mind can't make sense of all this irrationality. It's exhausting and overwhelming. You're expected to be a therapist, but she's not looking for solutions. She just wants to vent. Your own needs? They take a back seat to the constant emotional fires you're expected to put out. The worst part is that it never ends. There's always a new drama, a fresh catastrophe. You solve one problem and 2 more pop up in its place. It's like trying to bail out a sinking ship with a teaspoon, and just when you think things might calm down, the cycle starts all over again. Your time together becomes dominated by her emotional state. Fun plans get canceled because she's not in the right headspace. Conversations circle endlessly around her latest upset. Your attempts to inject positivity or perspective are brushed aside. You start to feel more like an emotional punching bag than a partner. The weight of her unresolved issues, insecurities, and conflicts bears down on you. Your own emotional well-being takes a hit. Sigma men can't stand this constant emotional chaos. It's really draining. They want to be supportive, but not at the cost of their own peace of mind. It's a tough realization, but sometimes the kindest thing you can do for both of you is to step away. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you're not equipped to be someone's entire emotional support system. Number 5. Social media obsession. The endless cycle of social media has infected modern women like a virus. For Sigma males, this digital addiction is more than just an annoyance. It's a deal breaker. Imagine you're out on a date. The conversation's flowing, or so you think. Then, you notice her eyes darting to her phone every few minutes. She's not fully present. She's curating her online persona, fishing for likes, obsessively checking notifications. It doesn't stop there. Every moment becomes a potential photo opportunity. That intimate dinner is interrupted so she can get the perfect shot of her meal. That scenic hike is more about the selfie at the summit than enjoying the view. But it's not just about distraction. It's the constant need for validation from strangers on the internet. A Sigma male's genuine compliment pales in comparison to 100 fire emojis from faceless followers. Privacy? What privacy? Your relationship becomes public property. Every argument, every milestone, every inside joke, all fodder for her social media feed. Your personal life is shared openly for everyone to judge. And let's talk about the comparisons. She's constantly measuring your relationship against the carefully curated highlight reels of others. Reality can never match up to these filtered fantasies. The worst part is how performative the whole thing feels. Grand gestures aren't about genuine emotion. They're about getting the perfect Instagram story. Experiences aren't lived, they're staged. The Sigma man cares about being authentic and having strong connections, so this surface-level existence is suffocating. You're left wondering, is she in a relationship with you or with her phone? In a world where likes and followers overshadow real-life connections, many Sigma males are opting to disconnect from relationships altogether. Number 6. Different priorities. Sigma males and many modern women are heading in totally different directions. It's like trying to mix oil and water. You've got your eyes on the prize, building a solid future, right? But look around. So many women are stuck in a loop of instant gratification. It's all about the next party, the perfect selfie, or jumping on whatever's trending. Meanwhile, you're grinding away at your goals, thinking long-term. Take careers, for example. You're plotting your path, working your way up, or dreaming of starting your own business. But what do you find? Women who are cool with just getting by, no real ambition in sight. It's frustrating when you're all fired up about your future and they're just not. Money's another big one. You're thinking savings, investments, maybe even retirement. But you keep running into women who'd rather blow cash on the latest designer bag or overpriced brunch. It's like they're playing checkers while you're playing chess with your finances. And don't even get started on the whole kids thing. If you want them, you've got a plan. But it seems like the women you meet either want to rush into it without a second thought, or they're dead set against it. Either way, it doesn't line up with your carefully thought-out life plan. You're always looking to level up, learning new skills, hitting the gym, expanding your mind. But too often, the women you meet just want to Netflix and chill. Where's the growth in that? It's not that these women are bad. They're just on a totally different wavelength. And for a Sigma male, that's a deal breaker. Number 7. Lack of intellectual connection. Have you ever sat across from someone at dinner and felt like you were talking to a wall? That's the reality for many Sigma males in today's dating scene. It's not about being a genius. It's about finding someone who can keep up with a real conversation. Think about the last time you tried to discuss something deeper than surface-level gossip or TV shows. Maybe you wanted to chat about an idea that's been on your mind, history, or a documentary you watched. But instead of a back-and-forth exchange of ideas, you got one-word responses or blank stares. It's not that smart women don't exist. They do. But in a world of quick swipes and instant gratification, meaningful exchanges often take a back seat. Social media and reality TV have trained many to prioritize drama and appearances over substance. This intellectual mismatch shows up in everyday situations. You might get excited about planning a trip, diving into the history and culture of a place. But your date's only concern is how Instagram-worthy the locations are. The problem goes beyond just having different interests. It's about curiosity, critical thinking, and the ability to engage in stimulating debates. When you're used to challenging yourself and exploring new ideas, it's draining to constantly dumb things down or stick to small talk. And let's be real, attraction isn't just physical. For Sigma males, mental stimulation is key. Without it, relationships quickly become boring, no matter how good-looking the partner might be. This lack of intellectual connection isn't just frustrating, it's lonely. It leaves Sigma men feeling misunderstood and isolated, even when they're not alone. That's why many prefer to stay single than settle for a partnership that leaves their mind unfulfilled.